Which celebrity was treated so unfairly that we as a society owe them an apology?
Media really made her seem like she's crazy for shaving her head. The part that people don't know is that her extension was actually so bad at the point where she was asking people, begging them to take it out, and they wouldn't let her. Like, this is how her hair was hanging. Honestly, if I get a razor to shave that hair, I would be happy too.
Which celebrity was treated so unfairly that we as a society owe them an apology?
Judy Garland. Judy Garland was 16 when she filmed The Wizard of Oz. However, the character of Dorothy is supposed to be prepubescent. So in order for Garland to maintain her childlike figure, she was kept on a diet of chicken soup and black coffee. This diet has no nutritional value, and as a result, she was always sluggish on set. To keep her energy up, she was prescribed amphetamines. These caused her sleeping problems, so she was also prescribed barbiturates. Both of these are highly addictive drugs, by the way, being prescribed to a literal child. Becoming reliant on these drugs at such a young age, of course, caused her to develop substance abuse problems. During her later years, she was dragged through the tabloids, similarly to how Britney Spears was in 2007, until she eventually died of an overdose. She was an absolutely legendary performer, and she deserved so much better.
Which celebrity was treated so unfairly that we as a society owe them an apology?
I'm gonna get hate for this, but this man deserves a massive apology. Y'all don't even know what he tried to do for this country. He was drugged through the mud. For no real good reason either. I've never seen someone's words more twisted. I've never seen a public figure more disrespected. And I am genuinely disappointed with America for their treatment of Donald Trump.
Which celebrity was treated so unfairly that we as a society owe them an apology? I'll go.
Okay, so listen. I don't know who started this, and I can't speak for all of society, just black people, especially the ones around my age, but somebody had told somebody who had told somebody else who had told somebody else that the singer Sierra had a dick when we were younger, and we all believed it. And we told other people. And we're sorry. That's it.
Which celebrity was treated so unfairly that we as a society owe them an apology?
Somehow, how that was the absolute manifestation of my consciousness at that time. I was Truman. I was in the bubble at that time. Peter Weir knew that. He cast me because of it. China was so much. I was very heartbroken. And she looks at me like she doesn't even know who I am. At Michel Gondry, he looked at me over lunch and he said, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful right now. You're so broken. I love this. Please don't get well." You know, because the movie wasn't shooting for another year. So he asked me not to get well. That's how fucked up this business is. And take a chance on being loved or hated for who you really are.
Which celebrity was treated so unfairly that we as a society owe them an apology?
Just doing anything he wants to and get away with it because nobody knows you. You know, after a while, hopefully it'll be to the point where I can't walk out in the street. Won't that be fun? where it'll be impossible to walk anywhere without being recognized.
At some point, when you create yourself to make it, you're going to have to either let that creation go and take a chance on being loved or hated for who you really are, or you're going to have to kill who you really are and fall into your grave grasping onto a character that you never were.
Which celebrity was treated so unfairly that society owes them an apology? I think a lot of people can agree with me when I say this, but Brendan Fraser. In the late 90s and early 2000s, he was one of the biggest stars of all time, giving us movies like George of the Jungle, the Mummy movies, Journey to the Center of the Earth, and Furry Vengeance. And that's only to name a few. But back in 2018, he claimed that Hollywood blacklisted him because of a sexual assault. Back in 2003, when Brendan Fraser attended a luncheon that was organized by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, he said that he was groped by Philip Burke, who was a former HFPA president. HFPA, for those who don't know, stands for Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Fraser said that Burke offered to shake his hand, and then when they went to go shake, he started to grow up his ass instead. If you feel uncomfortable with talking about sexual assault, maybe step out for the next few seconds, or skip ahead because you can actually do that now. I'm reading from my screen, but when Fraser spoke on this situation, he said, his left hand reaches around, grabs my ass cheek, and one of his fingers touches me on the taint. And this next part kind of made me feel ill too, but he said, and he starts moving it around. I felt ill. Not only does sexual assault affect your life, but it also affects your future. Fraser didn't go to the police about this because he didn't want it to become part of his character. He thought that if he came out about the situation, that Hollywood would just drop him. So instead, he decided to make the retreat from the spotlight, and would decline any major roles from Hollywood. One of the most beloved actors of all time to be dropped in seconds. But I have good news for you. Brendan Fraser actually stars in this new crime drama film on HBO Max called No Sudden Move. No, that's not Brendan Fraser, that's John Hamm, I know that. But he's also going to be one of the lead stars in Darren Aronofsky's new film, The Whale, which is based off of Moby Dick. There isn't much about the film right now, but apparently he's supposed to be playing a doctor. Look at how cute he is, I really just want to give him a bear hug. But he's actually sort of gotten a big break. There's this really underrated DC show called Doom Patrol, and you've probably seen this person before. Well, underneath all that armor is Brendan Fraser. Yep, Brendan Fraser plays Robot Man in DC's Doom Patrol. So he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves. I don't think as a society we owe him an apology because we've always loved him, we've always loved his movies, and there was never a moment where he made us hate him. He's always just been a loving and caring guy. But Hollywood definitely needs to give this man an apology.
Which celebrity was treated so unfairly that we as a society owe them an apology?
I've been waiting for this one, Sinead O'Connor. For those who don't know or are too young to remember, Sinead O'Connor is an Irish singer-songwriter who was rising to fame in the late 80s and early 90s, particularly with her hit Nothing Compares to You, which was written by Prince. In October of 1992, Sinead was invited to perform as a guest on Saturday Night Live. She had told producers that she would be covering Bob Marley's social justice song, War. Producers also confirmed with Sinead during the dress rehearsal that at the end of the song she would be holding up a picture of a refugee child to underscore the lyrics in the song. However, during the taping, Sinead instead strategically held up a picture of Pope St. John Paul II, specifically at the point in the song where the word evil is mentioned. In the silence after the song, Sinead then said, "Fight the real enemy," and tore up the picture of the Pope. Instead of a social justice song, Sinead used it as a vehicle to protest the abuse of children in the Catholic Church. After this performance, Sinead was all but blacklisted by the mainstream media. And yet, in subsequent years, John Paul II had to come to grips with the ongoing horrific abuse crisis in the church. Sinead was right, and we owe her an apology.